regards to what it really means to govern and what will happen if a Republican gets in the seat.
Will he be able to maintain, well, I say he as in Trump, but let's broaden that out. Will Republicans be able to maintain what he brought in that overall movement, not just here, but also you've got an election in New Jersey we're keeping a very close eye on. But this is a different time now with President Trump. I mean, this roller coaster continues to go up and down. Are voters, let's just say, for example, whether it be in Prince William County or down in Richmond, wherever, are they saying, yeah, you know what, I feel like they've widened the berth, where we feel more included now. Trump was onto something. How long can you ride that ride for?
You know, the conversations that I have, not just with my relatives, but with my friends, it's not so much about being included or feeling like they're included, but it's more so delivering on policy and improving their quality of life. There was chaos across the nation, whether it was law and order, the border, and folks, when they go to the ballot box, they think about these quality of life issues and how it's impacting their lives on a daily basis. And so when I talk to my friends, when I talk to my loved ones, those are the conversations that we have, and in many ways, people feel that, you know, what they voted for is what they're seeing, and they're seeing results. Again, it's still kind of early into this administration, so we'll see how things continue to unfold. But so far, the feedback that I'm getting is still very positive.
I think one of the challenges for Earle-Sears and Republicans in general is they're the incumbents now. Glenn Youngkin, Republican, is current governor, and Earle-Sears is the incumbent lieutenant governor. So it's going to be a referendum on that ticket. Donald Trump is the President of the United States, so it may be a little bit of a referendum on Donald Trump's presidency so far. That's always difficult in this environment. It's been a very anti-incumbent environment. I think one of the things that hurt McAuliffe in 2021 was the fact that he was seen as a de facto incumbent, even though he wasn't sitting governor. He had previously been governor, and there was a Democrat in office. And so I think overcoming that and trying to prove to voters that as the incumbent party now, as the Republicans who lead the state and lead the country, that you are in tune with the voters. That's going to, right now, it'll be interesting to see if the policies that Donald Trump has implemented are going to be approved by Virginia voters in the governor's race.
This is not a presidential cycle, so Trump is not on this ticket, but is he still front and center in people's minds when they go into that voting booth right now, Doctor?
Trump is definitely seen as the leader of the Republican Party. I really respect my dear sister who's on the panel, but I don't know. I mean, when I firmly believe in black and brown coalitions. I got a lot of Latinos and Latinas that I really get along with. I don't really know many Latinos and Latinas who are saying this is what I voted for. Like literally every single day, we are seeing massive raids of people being arrested, detained, shipped off by ICE, many of which who we've seen, you see the reports literally come out every single day. Persons that say, hey, I voted for Trump. I've never committed any crimes. I don't have any history of crimes in this nation. I'm not one of the individuals who should be rounded up, and they're doing so. I don't understand how when you see people like Elon Musk and Trump fighting on X or Truth Social like we see today, I don't understand how we see the prices of eggs and milk not come down, how anyone can say that this administration is delivering on what they said they were going to do, or maybe you see that they are. Maybe it's me, maybe my eyes are...
I got to introduce them to my friends and to my loved ones so they can have that conversation.
I mean, are people going into the booth and are they voting for Trump instead of Winsome Earle-Sears or for Spanberger? Are they saying, this is who I want to decide? It's whether or not I believe that Trump is the right choice.
Well, that's something that Abigail Spanberger is going to try to do, right? She's going to try to define Winsome Sears as a Donald Trump light. And so she's going to try to tie Sears directly to Trump on every issue. Now, whether she's successful in doing that or whether she's successful in saying all these things that Donald Trump is doing, this is all Winsome Sears'
We've seen that
fault.
work elsewhere, haven't we?
Sure,
I mean, yeah,
sure, and it may work in Virginia, like I said, because the fundamentals are it is a majority Democratic state, so it may be a little bit easier. But she has to be successful in doing that, and if Sears is able to parry that a bit and separate herself, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how many times Donald Trump comes to Virginia to campaign or to fundraise for Winsome Sears. We don't know that yet. If he stays away, That's maybe one thing. I mean, remember, Youngkin kept his distance.
Yeah,
Youngkin picked a couple of
delicate dance between them.
Picked a couple of issues, but he kept his distance generally from Donald Trump in 2021, and a lot of people say that helped him. We'll see how Sears handles this.
I would also suggest that the other side might do the same thing, trying to tie Abigail Spanberger to Joe Biden and her voting record matching how she sided with President Biden when he was in office. And so I think, again, it's going to be interesting. Both sides are going to try to do the same thing, and ultimately the voters are going to have to decide who is the most qualified person to lead the Commonwealth. Well,
and you make a good point, because there's a new Sears ad, or there's a Sears ad out about the border, and it features one quote about Biden saying, "Abigail's my friend," right? So they're obviously trying to tie her to Biden. The difference is he's not an incumbent. And will he be in the rearview mirror by November compared to Trump? That's
front and center.
Remains to be seen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's talk about referendum. That word "love," we love to throw that word around when we talk about elections and what it says, not just about Trump, but also the state of the parties at the time. Or is it a bellwether? Is what we see happen in Virginia, does that really show what the rest of the country is thinking right now? Doctor, do you think that what we're going to see in Virginia is going to be indicative of a much larger feel or momentum politically?
Absolutely. I think that Virginia is going to emphatically show that the nation and people as a whole are not pleased with the current administration in the White House, and it's going to trickle down. I mean, if you look at the state houses here in Virginia, Governor Youngkin hasn't been able to deliver a Senate or a House since he's been in. He's flipped very few seats. He's not necessarily been able to do the things in which he said he was going to do. And then you add that on top of a current president who's polling at some of the lowest rates of any president during this early in their administration. I think that Virginia is going to show that, again, they too agree with the rest of the nation and that they're looking for something different.
All right, 30 seconds. Is this going to kind of be our crystal ball?
If Sears wins, I think it's indicative that there's something going on here with the Republican Party and they're doing something right. With Spanberger, if she wins, you got to look at the margin of victory. If it's tight, I think it'll show you that maybe there's some resilience with Republicans and with Trump. If it's a blowout, Republicans probably need to be a little bit worried.
Yesli.
Historically, the Commonwealth of Virginia has gone in the opposite direction of who's in the White House. So I do understand the challenges that we face, but I do believe that the Lieutenant Governor is prepared to bring the fight and that she's ready to engage the voters across the Commonwealth and deliver her message.
Well, that is all the time we have for tonight. Thank you for joining us as well. Thanks to our panel. Great conversation. The November election is set. Early voting begins in September. You can find all the information you need on WJLA.com and inside our free mobile app. Thank you for being here tonight. Have a good evening.